Hello everyone. Today I bring to you the number 67 Volkswagen 1600 TL. This one has rubber tires and is missing two and is very scratched up. And the base has some slight corrosion, as you can see right here. And the doors also on this model open, which look quite nice. One of them doesn't look quite right, so I might have to look at that when it closes. And I can see that the headlights and grille are connected to the base, which will make my work easier. I will be restoring this car and will be painting it back to the original color, which is a light red. The windshield is a bit scuffed up, so I'll be polishing that. I'm going to try to get O-rings for tires. I might end up buying new ones. I'm really not sure. So I have some other models that have the same tires, and I might steal the ones off these and get all new for this one. Also, the first step for this restoration is to drill out the two rivets right here so I can take the base off. So I'll show you what it looks like when that's been completed. As you can see, I have drilled out the rivets on this model and I have tapped the posts and put some screws in. I'm not going to be removing the doors because they're kind of difficult to get back in. And this is the base. I removed the tires, which are here. They're a little grimy and there are only two of them. And it's a bit oxidized and has a little corrosion spot here. And also here's a suspension plate that was inside that makes the wheels go a little nicer, but it's just a little dirty. It should be fine. Here's the interior, which is also just a little dirty, not too bad. Windshield, not really any really deep scratches. It's pretty good, so I'm gonna just try to polish it up a little bit and clean it. As you can see, there's a lot of oxidation and corrosion on this base, and the headlights and grille parts are connected to the base itself. Also, the axles and the rims of the wheels are still on here. What I will start with is taking this stone wheel. I might switch to a different wheel, I'll show you if I do, to remove the edges of the axles. And then I'll be going over with a brass wheel over the body, brass so it doesn't damage or scratch the casting too deeply. Should shine it up pretty nicely. So let's see how it comes out. As you can see, here is the base of the car that I showed you before. And these are some axles that I started working on out of brass rod. I have a big strip of it here that I got from my dad. He has a ton of this at work. And I took it and I put it into the vise, which is right here. And I hit it with my hammer, which isn't here right now. But I peened the tip of this, if I can get it to focus. So it's been all cleaned over that the wheels will hold. Please focus. Come on. There we go. So yeah, that's what it looks like after it's been peened over. Now what I'm going to try to do now is to use this tool that my dad made for me on his lathe. He drilled 2 holes into it, and this will hopefully round the tips of the axles once I'm ready to make them look original, and they should look really good on there. And then I gotta form the other ends, and I use my drill press for this. I have some nails that I modified to do the other side, and I'll put that tool I showed you before into the chuck here and use that to reform it. So let's see how this all goes. As you can see, everything worked. Unfortunately, I accidentally bent one of the brass axles, but in the end I built another one and they all formed correctly. Fortunately, I made this one a little bit too long, but it's not a big deal. And for tires, I'm using some O-rings that I bought, so they're a bit wider and nice. So yeah, the base should all be finished now. So now I just need to attach the chassis to the base. Here is the windshield from the car. As you can see, it's a little bit dusty and has a couple minor scratches on it. I'm going to immediately just try to polish it, no sanding. I'll be using my cotton wheel with some clear coat polishing compound, and hopefully it'll come out really shiny. Let's see how it comes out. It looks almost brand new. Came out beautiful. I'm excited to put this back into the car. As you may remember, the interior was very dirty when I started, but I put it in some water and soap and scrubbed it with a toothbrush, and this is what it looks like now, which is a bit cleaner. I mixed the paint for both these vehicles at the same time, but this video is about the Volkswagen, so let's focus on that. As you can see, the Volkswagen took a lot of time to get the paint to mix right, but finally I got a color that's very close to what the original paint is. As you can see, I have that right in this corner, I think. right there. And then a little bit on the fender, I think I had it. But it's kind of a mess because I smeared some of it and everything. But the next step will be to paint strip this, so it'll be down to the bare metal next. This is what the casting looks like after almost all the paint's been removed. As you can see, there's still some slight bits in the panel lines that I couldn't remove. Also, I did a little bit of work on some of the imperfections, like there was a big scratch here, and when I was taking it apart, the panel lines here and here got damaged. But I tried to fix it as best I can. Hopefully it'll come out good. It was a job getting the paint off in some spots because it was very difficult. I'm going to be working more around this license plate here. But I've been using some dental picks that I got off of Harbor Freight, and they're pretty good. They work very well to remove everything, and for removing the imperfections and the scratches and all that kind of stuff, I used this little file that I found at our place upstate New York. So it was just there when we bought it in the drawer. So I don't know where you get these. You probably get them off Amazon for cheap, but I like this one because I found it. But yeah, I'm going to try to move the remainder of the imperfections and scratches, and then I'm going to polish the thing up with a brass wheel on my Dremel, and then prime it. So let's see how it looks after it's been cleaned up with sanding and my Dremel. This is what the body looks like after it's been polished up a little bit with the brass wheel and some sandpaper. I tried to remove the scratch that's by the looking structure here. It didn't come out perfect, but I don't want to mess with the panel lines and risk losing those, so I'm going to see if I can mask it with the primer, if I can sand the primer or anything like that. Also, I worked on the side panel lines where I damaged them, as you can see on this side and on this side. Next, in front of the doors is where that is, in case you can't tell. And I think it's all ready to get primed up, so probably just going to wash it real quick, and then I'll put some fine surface primer by Tamiya on it. In case you're wondering about the thing I'm using to hold it, this is a homemade device that my dad made for me to hold the car. It's a piece of angle iron with some brackets that have some clips on them that have screws on them that are adjustable, so I can kind of adjust it to where I need it. So yeah, it's pretty simple to make. But yeah, let's see what it looks like when it has primer on it. This is what the car looks like after the primer's been applied. I even tried to get a little bit on the inside, but the doors a little bit more, because I'm going to try to paint inside there with my airbrush, which is what I have set up right now. I have my airbrush set up right here, which is basically just a cardboard box with some newspapers, a light. I put my airbrush in this because I didn't buy the stand, and then I got a fan that comes out over there. But yep, so this is all ready to paint up. So I mixed up some paint in advance, as you probably saw in the other video. So we'll be painting that now, and I'll see how it comes out when I'm done. This is what the body looks like after it's been painted up. Now, unfortunately, I got the color incorrect when I mixed it, and it's a bit darker than I want it to be, but it still has a nice look to it, I think. I like it. But, I mean, someone else on YouTube, I think Bare Metal Hot Wheel, did it? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was him who had a video of this car getting redone, and he got closer probably. But and Marty's Matchbox Restoration is planning on making a video about this car, so they'll probably put it to the original paint. I'm content with mine being darker, and as you can see, there's some spots that aren't reflecting the light, and that's because I messed up in a couple spots. There's a spot on the hood, and there's this, and I forgot to open the doors when I painted it, which was really stupid. But I touched all those spots up, or all around the door edges, and the little tiny ding that got put in the hood, and it's very slightly like not smooth anymore. So I'm going to polish it up before I show it all to you, but I'm going to put it together now and polish it up and show you what it looks like when I'm done with that. So this is what the car originally looked like. A lot of paint chips, very dirty, missing 2 of its tires, and overall looking pretty beat. But now it's been redone and looks like this. I hope you enjoyed watching. You'll leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to make many more of these videos of restorations, and I have much more to come, so stick around for more. Thank you.